Shalom and welcome to this week's Hebrew class. And as we have been doing, we've been going through the book of Qanah or John, and we're in chapter 4. And today's lesson will cover verses 46 to 50. So let us now begin. And as I do each week, I like to give you the chart of the Nakud, the vowel markings, for anyone who's just dropping in and is new to the use of vowels, because these vowels help us pronounce properly. We see we've got a sound that is like an A. The patak is a shorter A and the kamats is a longer A. And we have the same with the E sound, as in mat. But then we have the longer E sound and a shorter E sound. Zere and segol is what they are called. And then we have the I sound, as in E, like big, which is like a short I sound. And then, of course, we have the O sound, which is called a cholam. And then we have the U sound, as in moon, but we also have a longer sound and a shorter sound. And then I've also given you the shin and the sin. And I've given you these resources which I do encourage you to use because they will help you a lot. So let us begin. So we begin in verse 46. It's represented by a mem and a vav. The mem being a value of 40 and the vav being a value of 6 because it is the sixth letter of the alphabet. So let us go through the letters as we do each week. Vav, Yod, Veit, Aleph, because there's no dot there. Yod, He, Vav, Shin, Ayin, Vav, Dalet, Hey, Pei, Ayin, Mem, Safit, Aleph, Lamed, Kuf, Nun, Hey, Aleph, Shin, Resh. And just a quote, or just a mention here, is that the Aleph and the Ayin are in white, which tells us they are silent letters that we do not pronounce. So we begin. Vayavo, and he came, remembering that if there's no sort of pronoun there, we usually assume it's he. It could be it as well, but in this case it's he. And he came, Yeshua, that's who, or Yahusha, as some might say. Od, another. So how do we get another out of that? Because odd as an adjective can mean another. It can also mean more. It can mean still. It can mean yet, even while still. So another, and then ha, pa, meaning time. El to Qanah. So El meaning to and Qanah was the place. Translated often as Canaan, but it's actually Qanah. Share that, and I've added is just to make it match the next part of the sentence. That is. So I've given you pa'am, which means time or occasion, but I've also given you a note. In the first word, we have a prefix, the vav and the yod. The yod is an imperfect future tense, but with the vav, it becomes a perfect form, meaning a complete action, and it came. And we have our translation, Yeshua came a second time to Qanah, which is, and now we can read that. Vayavo Yahushua od ha-pa'am el Qanah ashir. And the translation, and he came, Yahusha, another time to Qanah, that is. And then we come to 46b, where we have Beit, Gimel, Lamed, Yod, Lamed, Aleph, Lamed, Mem, Kuf, Vav, Mem Sofit, Mem at the end of a word, Aleph, Shin, Resh, Sin, Mem Sofit, Hey, Mem, Yod, Mem Sofit, Lamed, Yod, Yod, Nun Sofit, Vav, Yod, Hey, Yod. And we read it. Ba Galil, in Galil, L2, Mekom, the place, Asher, that, some, he made, Hamayim, the water, Le Yayin, to wine, or to be wine, Ve he, and it was. Often those translators came to pass. So we have to Qanah, which is in Galil, to the place where he made the water into wine, and it came to pass. And I've given you also makom, masculine noun, meaning place, spot, position. Some is a kol verb to put, to appoint, to make. And lesim, verb to place, to make, to cause, to set. And of course, we can now read that. Ba Galil, el mekom, Asher, Sam, Ha-mayim, Le-yayin, Ve-he. In Galil, to the place that he made the water to be wine, and it was. And of course our translation, to Qanah, which is in Galilee, to the place where he made the water into wine, and it came to pass. And now we come to 46c. We're having the Aleph, Yod, Shin. Mem, Ayin, Veit, Dalet, Yod, Hey, Mem, Lamed, Kaf, so fit, Kaf at the end of a word, Vav, Veit, Nun, Vav, Chet, Lamed, Hey, Veit, Kaf, Fei, Resh, Nun, Chet, Vav, Mem, so fit. So let's read it. Ish, which means a man. Me'av day, from the servants of. Now the reason it's of, it's a construct form with the zere and the yod at the end. Ha melech, meaning the king, from the servants of the king. Uvno, and his son. Again, the pronoun on the end. Holy. Now I've added was sick, because if we look down here, it comes from the word chala, which is a kal verb to sicken, to become ill. But what's funny is the chala also is a noun meaning the Shabbat bread. And we also have chole, which is a masculine noun meaning patient or sick person. So I've made it was sick. Vikfar. So Vikfar meaning in Kefar, which literally means village. Nachum. And that's Nahum. And of course, Nahum was one of the minor prophets. So literally, it's the village of Nahum. And therefore, we've also got down here, Eved, a masculine noun meaning slave or servant. And then we have Avad, which is a kal verb to work, to labour, all related to this word here. And there was a man who was a servant of the king, whose son was sick in, and it's translated as Capernaum, but actually it's like two words joined, as we saw up there. So now we can read that. Ish, me'av day, ha-melech, uvno, chole, vikfar, Nahum. A man from the servants of the king, and his son was sick in Kefar Nahum, the village of Nahum. And now we turn to 47a, Mem, which has a value of 40, and Zion, a value of 7. And then we have Vav Yod He Yod, Kaf, Shin Mem, Ayin Vav, Kaf Yod Veit Aleph, Yod He Vav Shin Ayin, Mem Yod He Vav Dalet He. And we read it. He, and it was. Ke Sham O, Ke Sham O, like his hearing. Now, generally translated when he heard, but it's literally like his hearing. Ki that, Va, he came, again, no pronoun, it's he. Yahushua, that's who, or Yahusha. Mi Yehuda. So the yod is sort of said softly because it's joined there. It's not a separate part. It's the completion of this syllable. So it's Mi Yehuda. Mi Yehuda. So it's got from it, the root is from Yahuda. And the translation, and it came to pass when he heard that Yeshua had come from Judea. So now we can read that. Vayehi ke sham o ki va Yahushua mi Yehuda. And the translation, and it was like his hearing that he came, Yahusha, from Yehuda. And 47b, we got a lamed, an aleph, a resh, a zade sofit. A he gimel lamed, yod lamed. Vav yod lamed, kaf sofit. Aleph lamed, yod vav. Vav yod shin, aleph lamed. Mem, aleph, tav, vav. Lamed resh, dalet, tav. And we read it. Le eretz. To the land, and I've added of, just to make it flow, Ha-ga-lil, the Galil, the Galilee. Vayelek, and he went, that's of course the king's servant, Eliv, unto him or to him, Vayishal, and he asked, Me ito, from with him, usually translates from him. And of course the him is Yeshua. La redet. La redet, to come down. So what's the root of that word? If we look down here, it comes from yared, which is to descend, to go down, to decrease. Because the word redet is a feminine noun meaning descent or fall, like in nightfall. So we're saying here to come down. That Yeshua had come from Judea to the land of Galilee. He went and asked him to come down. And we see here the root here is sha'al. And we've got it here. Sha'al is a kal verb to ask, to question, to query. And I've also given you this one, which is ito, which generally is used as a prep meaning with him. And that's why I've sort of said from with him, but literally it means from him. Also, that's normally how it's translated. So let us read that now. Le'eretz ha-galil vayelek eliv vayishal me'ito la redet. To the land of the Galilee, and he went to him, and he asked from with him, or from him, that's Yeshua, to come down. And so now we come to 47c. So we have a Vav Lamed Resh Pei with a dot, Aleph. Aleph Tav Bayit with a dot, Nun Vav. Kaf Yod, Nun Tet Hey, Lamed Mem Vav Tav. And we read it, Ul Ra Pei. Ul Ra Pei, and to heal. So if we look down here, we've got repay is a PL verb to heal, to restore, to cure. That's where we get that from. Et grammar marker, no, his son, to heal his son. Ki for na ta, inclined. So I've added he is inclined. So how do we get inclined from nata? So here we got nata. It's a cold verb to be inclined, to be predisposed, or to tend to. So there's a tendency for him to die, right? So he is inclined, la mut, to die. The lamed is to, and mut, meaning, if we go down here, mut is a noun, meaning death, the death of, or la mut, meaning to die. And it also, we see we've got mavet, a masculine noun, which means death, and mat is a cold verb to die also. So I'm just giving you the various forms that you may see, just so that you know it all relates to the same thing. So the translation, to come down and to heal his son, for he was about to die. That's how they translate it. And we read it. Ul ra pe et beno ki na ta la mut. And to heal, grammar marker, his son, for he is inclined to die. And now we come to 48a, and it's represented with a mem 40 and a chet 8, the 8th letter of the alphabet. And then we go Vav, Yod, Aleph, Mem, Resh, Aleph, Lamed, Yod, Vav, Yod, Hey, Vav, Shin, Ayin, Aleph, Mem, Safit, Lamed, Aleph, Tav, Resh, Aleph, Vav, Aleph, Tav, Vav, Tav. And we read it, Va, Yo, Mer. And he said, Eliv, unto him. And who's speaking? Yeshua, or Yahusha. Im lo, if not. Tiru, you shall see. And because it's got the tav, we know it's a second person form. So therefore it's you shall see, because the tav is also an incomplete form, a future tense. You shall see. O tot, signs, that's a plural form, whereas the singular form is ot. You know, there's got a vav in it, but that's been dropped up there. So it's ot, a masculine noun meaning sign, omen, or token. And the translation is, Yeshua then said to him, if you do not see signs. And so we read it. Va yomer elev Yahushua im lo tiru otot. And he said unto him, Yahusha, if not, ye shall see signs. And now we come to 48b. And we have, of course, a Vav, man, Vav, Fe this time, because there's no dot. Tav, Yod, Mem, Safit, Lamed, Aleph, Tav, Aleph, Mem, Yod, Nun, Vav. So we read it. Umoftim, and wonders. If we look down here, Mofet is a masculine noun meaning miracle, wonder, or an example. Lo, not, ta'aminu. Again, we see we got a tav, so it's second person imperfect. So it's you shall, or shall you believe, or you shall believe. So the translation is, if you do not see signs and wonders, you shall not believe. And I've also included the root for believe, which is he emin, and we can see that the he's dropped off. It's a verb to believed or to believe in. So up here the he's dropped off and replaced with the imperfect second person form. So now we can read that. U mof tim lo ta ami nu, and wonders not shall you believe. And now we come to 49a, and we have a mem 40 and a tet, the ninth letter of the alphabet, so therefore its value is 9. So we're in 49. And then we go through letters. Vav, Yod, Aleph, Mem, Resh, Aleph, Lamed, Yod, Vav, He, Aleph, Yod, Shin, Aleph, Shin, Resh, Mem, Ayin, Vayet, Dalet, Yod. And we read it. Vayomer, and he said, Elev, unto him, Ha'ish, meaning the man, Asher, who, because asher can mean that which, who, whom, and then I've added was. Who was, me of day, from the servants of. You notice in Hebrew often they don't add these extra words, so they would just read it, the man who from the servants of. So therefore the translation is, the man said to him who was one of the servants, because that's how they translate it, who was one of the servants. Now we can read that. Vayomer elev ha'ish asher me'av day, being a construct form again. And he said unto him, the man who was from the servants of. And we got 49b. And we have a hey, mem, lamed, kaf, so fit. Aleph, dalet, nun, yod. Resh, dalet, hey, nun, aleph. Bayet, tet, resh, mem, so fit. Yod, mem, vav, tav. Bayet, nun, yod. And we reread it now. Ha-melech, the king. And we know from the previous, said one of the servants of, and then it's the king. Adoni, my master, with the chirik and the yod meaning my master. And then we got reda, na. So what's reda, na? Come down, please. And I've added, it's an imperative. And if we look down here, yarad is like the root, the kol verb to go down, to descend, to decrease. But the yod, of course, is dropped off it there, but it's still the same root word, rada, meaning come down, please. And then bet teram, and it's usually just translated as before, but literally the root of it is teram, adjective before, not yet. And beteram is prior to, or it's literally like in before, or you could say when before, or before when. And then we got yamut, he shall die. Beni, my son. Again, the ending tells you my, with the chirik and the yod. My son. And therefore we have said one of the servants of the king, my master, come down before my son dies. And so we read it. ha-melech, Adoni, redana, beterem, yamut, beni. The king, my master, come down, please, before he shall die, my son. And now we come to 50, represented with a nun. And then we have Vav, Yod, Aleph, Mem, Resh, Aleph, Lamed, Yod, Vav, Yod, He, Vav, Shin, Ayin, Lamed, Kaf, Sofit. Bet, Nun, Kaf, Sofit, Chet, Yod, Vav, He, Aleph, Yod, Shin. And we read it. Va, Yomer. And he said, Eliv, unto him. And then who? Yahushua or Yahusha, lek, go. And again, it's an imperative form, go. Bin ka, your son, chai, lives. And then we have the ha-ish and the man. So the translation, Yeshua said to him, go, your son lives. And then it's like a new sentence, the man. Even in the Hebrew, there's no new sentence there, but it just continues. So let us read that. Vayomer elev Yahushua lek bin ka chai ve ha-ish. And he said unto him, Yahusha, go, your son lives, and the man. And now we have part B. We have a He, Aleph, Mem, Yod, Nun, Sofit, Bet, Dalet, Vayet, Resh, Aleph, Shin, Resh, Dalet, Bayet, Resh, Aleph, Lamed, Yod, Vav, Yod, He, Vav, Shin, Ayin, Vav, Yod, Lamed, Kaf, Sofit. And we read it. He-e-min. He-e-min. He believed. And we haven't got anything, but we've seen that before. It means to believe. He-e-min. So he believed. Ba-davar. In the word. Ashir, that. Di-bear, he spoke. Because this form means to like speak. Eliv, unto him, Yahushua, or Yahusha, vayelak, and he left. And of course the root word of that is halak, where the hay's dropped off, which is a kol verb to go, to walk, to leave, to proceed. And the translation, the man believed the word that Yeshua spoke to him and left. So, now we can read that. He'emin badavar asher diber eliv Yahushua vayelak. And he believed in the word that he spoke unto him, Yahusha, and he left. And so, we now come to the revision. So, we begin with Mem being 40, Vav being 6. So, we know we're in 46. Vayavo, and he came. And who? Yahushua. Od, which can mean another, ha-pa'am, time, L2, Qanah, the place, Ashir, that. And he came, Yahushua, another time to Qanah, that. And we could add is, Ba-Galil, in Galil, El to Mekom, the place asher that some he made, Hamayim the water, Leya yin to wine, he, and it was. In Galilee to the place that he made the water to wine, and it was, or it came to be, Ish a man, Me'avdei from the servants of Hamelech the king, Uvno and his son, Holek was sick, Bikfar, Nahum, in the village of Nahum, the prophet. A man from the servants of the king, and his son was sick in Kephar Nahum, the village of Nahum. And then we have a mem, 40, Zion, 7. So we read, so we're in 47. He, and it was. Ke sham o, like his hearing, ke that, va he came, Yeshua, mi Yehuda, from Yehuda, from Judea, and it was like his hearing, or when he heard, for he came, Yeshua, from Yehuda. Le'eretz, to the land, Hagalil, Vayelek, and he went. Elev, unto him, Vayishal, and he asked, Me ito, from him or from with him, La redet, to come down. Right, and the translation, to the land of the Galilee, and he went unto him, and he asked from with him or from him to come down. Ura pay, and to heal et Beno, his son, ki for nata, he was inclined, lamut, to die. And to heal Grandma Mikey, his son, for he was inclined to die. And then we have Mem 40, Chet 8. So we're reading now. Va Yomer, and he said, Elev, unto him, Yahushua, that's who's speaking, Im lo, if not, Tiru, you shall see, O tot, signs. And he said unto him, Yahushua, if not, ye shall see signs, U moftim, and wonders, lo not ta'aminu, you shall believe. And wonders not shall you believe. And then we have a mem, 40, a tet, which is 9, value of 9, the 9th letter of the alphabet. Vayomer, and he said, Elev, unto him, Ha'ish, the man, Asher, who, or who was, Me'av day, from the servants of, and he said unto him, the man who was from the servants of. Hamelech, the king, Adoni, my master, Reda, nah, come down, please, Beterem, before, or when before, Yamut, he shall die, Beni, my son. So it's the king, my master. Go down or come down, please, before he shall die, my son. And we have a nun, which is 50, value of 50. Vayomer, and he said, Elev unto him, Yeshua, let go, bin ka, your son. Chai lives, the ha-ish, and the man. And he said unto him, Yeshua, go, your son, he lives, and the man. He'emin, he believed, la davar, to the word. Asher that, diber, he spoke, elev, unto him, Yeshua, vayelak. And he went, and he left. He believed to the word that he spoke unto him, Yeshua, and left. And then finally, we come to our valve markings just to refresh our mind. We've got a Kamatz, a longer A, Patak, shorter A, Zere, longer E, Segol, shorter E, Shava is the syllable breaks, Cholam is the O sound, then we have Shuruk, a short U sound, and then we have Kubutz, longer U, and then we have a combination of Shava and Segol. It's called a Kataf Segol, and then we have Chirik, the I sound, Kataf Patak. Again, the Shava, and then followed with the short A, Patak. And we have the same here, Shava followed by a longer A, a Kamatz. And then finally, we also have our resources again, and of course we have the chart of the values. And we will do some random ones. Mem is 40, Zadeh 90, Kaf 20, Samek 60, Zion 7, Vav 6, and Tav 400, and Kuf 100. Just throwing it out of sequence so that we just try to remember the different letters, their values. So I'd like to thank you for joining us, and we do pray these lessons are very useful and they are not too difficult for you to follow, so that whatever stage you're at, you can actually follow them. And we always at the end of each chapter have our revision classes, which helps those who are more proficient and they don't always want to go through a slower process. But each week you can just look at the revisions at the end as well. So we want to just wish you a Shavua Tov, a good week, and may you be blessed in Yeshua, in Yahushua, our Messiah, the King, the soon coming King. Amen.